Once again, someone's been playing with my camera, but that's not atypical. Hello everyone, I'm King Mob, and we're going to be continuing playing Disco Elysium. I'm not going to have my silent advisor today, Mr. Eckwisthenchman, but I hope those who are here, and those who watch this in the VOD after, will enjoy this. Happy New Year, everyone. It's 2023. I say that with a bit of panic in my heart, but time marches on. That's just kind of what this is all about, isn't it? Let's get rolling. When we last left Harry, I just went and advised purveyors of anodic music, as in anodes and cathodes, to either make a choice between building their meth lab, which they wanted to build in the church in order to fund their anodic music club, or the club itself. I think they picked wisely, because building a meth lab never really leads to anything good. There we go. Let's go investigate that church. Ha! Hey, really big fan pod? Oh, yeah, it's a bit of a white label drum and bass rarity from the late 90s. That took me, I found it in a... I found it in a cast-off bin at a storied record store a lifetime ago. Oh. Hey, Chuck. Yeah. I found it at a storied record store that you may know of. I don't know if you worked there. I can't remember, but I know you played some shows there. It was a cast-off, which means it was like ones that a DJ got rid of. And instead of actually having a label, it just had a white label on it with a number written on it. It took me 7 or 8 years to find out what the song actually was. But it's the Smokester, Westworld Coasting. It's a real good set closer for Jungle and Drone Bass.
Heavy wooden doors, more than twice your height, stand shut in front of you. The rectangular sea-worn ornamentation appears in stark contrast to the padlock, carelessly drilled into the wood.
Thank you for making it tonight. I look forward to your new podcast.
The lock turns easily. You hear a click as the shackle pops open.
Let's go.
Pull on the doors. Lieutenant nodded.
A great whoosh of air rushes into the dark innards of the church, as though rushing to fill a great vacuum.
Innards.
In the heart of the city.
Oh, wow. Immediately feeling something. Strange stillness fills you. Look ahead. You should walk here, not run. Grotesque wooden figure looks half finished. Looks like we'll need we'll need a flashlight here. So let's get that going. Or the forked lightning pattern you saw outside. Bark beetles? No, it looks intentional. Some long forgotten style. Hopefully you guys aren't dead. Yeah, some of these plates are electrified. Blackboard's filled with complex equations. They look recent. Something to do with radio frequencies. Two decks of reel-to-reel tapes running on end. I can't interact with that. But I can interact with that, yeah. Mistake. Okay, so my next thing is I gotta get a seal to talk to the associates. After he helped him set up the thing. Sync the signs of the noise. Help the Riverstar nightclub. Dead body in the bar block, okay. I'm gonna call the station. Here. Okay, what was I doing? Oh yeah, back here. Interact. Tape you found from a shack on the coast.
There's no way to listen to the tape without a working tape player or portal reel at hand. A pawn shop would have a tape player.
Yeah, I got one right here though. Portable Harman Awashi tape player. Possible it's recording something? Another...
A machine stands in the corner, watched over by the figures on the stained glass window. It's turned on and quivering with soft electricity.
Move my drink away from the mic.
Another radio computer. And this time it's already turned on.
He seems cautious around the machine.
These machines sometimes harbor traps, he thinks. Alarm systems and the like. Let's be careful.
We should leave. I doubt this place bears any connection to the case.
Yes, but this machine looks just like the one in the Doom commercial here.
It's also quite similar to the one we have down at the station. Must be the same model.
He inspects the machine's framework. Careful not to touch it.
The one you saw earlier was the Ream Civic. This is the Ream Prefect, a model number RC7024, equipped with a Feld mainframe and a Ream-compatible interim printer.
Feld Meth Plus. Feld Playback Film.
The Ream Prefect is the governmental version of the commonly used Ream Civic model. Although mostly based on the same technology, the Ream Prefect is equipped with better noise attenuation circuits.
Wait, let me disconnect this.
You see fluorescent play and print buttons on the keyboard. A hatch connected to the central compartment is wide open. The lieutenant says nothing. You see the machine's glowing frame reflected back from his diamond-shaped glasses. You're free to proceed. Behind the hatch sits a cube-like crisscross of filaments, smoldering in the dark like fireflies. Silver tape on the side says, in black marker, log, February to March. This is the machine's filament memory. Press play to access its contents. The speaker comes to life. Static seeps through the machine's planar magnetic driver. An old lady greets you. Her voice sounds 100 years old.
Good evening. Votre accident on Saint-Brun. This is the East Insulindian Rapid Station 1. Please repeat. Is this the personal log?
It's the same old woman you spoke with through the radio computer in the doomed commercial area.
Looked inside the core. The tape in the filament said log, February, March.
Good. Please repeat the password.
Let's look around. There's no use trying to guess the answer.
Received. I will register this login attempt. Votre accident. Is there anything else I can do for you today?
Thanks, but I'm finished with this call.
Sleep well, votre accident.
He says, and her voice appears into a whirlless.
The machine's keyboard is still illuminated, revealing fluorescent play, and nothing happens.
What's siphoning electrical current from outside into this antenna? Move slowly. Bowl is filled with water. A live wire runs directly into it. Do these wires work as contact microphones? Maybe. A pair of shoes. Mesk Banger's Red Bros. Plus 1 empathy. What kind of shoes am I wearing right now? Probably some weird beater shoes. Franco-Nigerian cavalry boots. And I like the perception bonus, so we'll continue rocking those. Spider spun its web around this wood-carved pillar. Cracked pane of glass. Colorful. Like a nice little scarf there. Be a pair of slacks. Mesk Banger Silk Scarf. Plus 1 pain threshold. Frost has drawn flowers in the grass, obscuring the view. Figure drawn in the frost in the window, depicting a deer. Oh, walk, 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 walk.
The silence in this part of the church, it's almost palpable. All the shift in matter and shuffling of living things is gone. Nothing seems to exist beyond the church anymore. Maybe if you were to stand in just the right spot, even your footsteps would be completely silent.
Wait, I still think I hear something.
And then it's gone. Almost all of it, but for the faintest of hums. It seems the sound here is detached from its source somehow, if not blotted out outright. Truly unusual. Sounds like the Pale.
How do I know what the Pale sounds like?
From recordings of the Far Pale. You've heard them. We all have. You can hardly hear your own breathing. Your voice is barely audible. Not a howl, but the softest of whimpers.
Stomp your feet and clap your hands.
You produce a few muffled thumps, after which the silence feels even more total. Somehow.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. What's happening?
The lieutenant points to his ears and shakes his head. Then he leans closer.
Can you hear anything?
Not really, but it's extraordinary. I never really experienced anything like this.
I wonder why the church was built with such strange acoustics.
I don't think it was.
Maybe the church was designed this way to prevent boisterous activity, singing and dancing, on its premises.
Whatever it is, it's definitely real. Something maybe they want to discourage singing and dancing.
Could be.
He doesn't seem entirely convinced, though.
Look up in the bell.
The orderly rows of ceiling panels become barely visible, then disappear completely in the darkness of the tower overhead.
Let's do it. Oh! Place up there.
Just darkness without end. It makes your head spin.
Wink.
You see something hanging from the rafters, looking straight at you with dark eyes. Maybe it's possible to talk to it. Is that a man? Looks more like part of the carpentry of the building came alive and is now studying you intently.
Indeed. Eek, Hotspot Huntress. Happy New Year. Glad to see you here.
The Crab Man.
Hey, who's there?
The man leaned forward a little, fixing you with a steady, unreadable gaze. then speaks.
Habitual alcohol use has made you into a scared little pussy, Holmes. But don't worry, everything's gonna be alright. You come to the right place.
That accent is Villalobos, a peninsula in Mesque and a district in general. There's a sizable contingent of Villalobos-speaking Mesques in Revachol. Hold on, stop it right there. Pussy, what's with this?
I'm not scared. I don't understand why the female sexual organs have to be associated with weakness.
You really got a case of frayed nerves, pussy. And this usage comes from pusillanimous. Everybody knows that.
Oh, yes, everybody knows that.
Oops.
Chill out, man. Here you could receive the mother's love. And when you're ready, she will take your hand and lift you out of that despair at the bottom of that bottle.
This man is obviously a habitual narcotics user. Do we really need to question him?
Yes, we do. I was a habitual narcotics user until like 20 seconds ago, so.
I'm put off by this religious stuff, he thinks. And maybe the ceiling climbing, too. It's all very hard to square with the lieutenant's own view of reality. Hey, and what was that about the bottle again? You haven't even drank that much lately. Lay off it already. Shish.
Yeah, I have a bit of a problem. It's getting a bit out of hand lately, but.
Está crudo, way. I see deep inside you. Your body and your spirit are suffering greatly from overindulgence. And you don't even know it.
I'm very in touch with my suffering.
Not all of it. I was like you once. You don't know all the havoc El Vino is wrecking on your mind and your spirit. Necesita parar, homie.
You know, actually, since we're here, you may want to pay attention to what the ceiling climber is saying.
For some reason, I feel like you have a point there.
Don't trust me. Trust the mother. I'm only the messenger, Holmes. This is the Church of the Mother of Silence. You are welcome here.
He sways gently on the beams, waiting for you to take it all in.
You have no idea what the fuck he's talking about. Is he just trying to throw you off your game? Whatever it is, he's quite confident about it. Just look how gracefully he sways. 'Tis not an act, my liege. Save him perchance, he hath deceived his very self. This man is a zealot.
You know where the other spooker is? Point the strange machines around you.
Other spooker? Oh, esa viejita es muy estudiosa. Don't know, Holmes.
Viejita is grandma?
Wait, so there's another person living in church and it's your...
No. I just call her viejita because of her clothes. She's actually quite young. Or maybe not that young. Age is just one of the many masks we wear.
And you don't know where she is?
That's what I said, Holmes.
How can you not know where she is when you both live here?
Don't really follow her comings and goings. Just see her typing on her computer now and then. We got different interests.
You got nothing else to tell me? How she looks, what she does, who is she?
I'm afraid not, Essay. You just have to wait until she comes back, or
search through her radio computer.
I mean, but I just heard the Vejita say the password to her radio computer?
Too many times, Essay. You need it for something.
Surveys are a good way to fish for personal information, especially in the name of public safety.
Don't sweat it, vato. The password is afterlife death.
I just wanted to break into a radio computer, see what's on it.
What you think of that? Makes me almost pity la niñita pequeña when I hear it.
So you must be the crab man.
Never known myself to be a crab, but if that's the name you got for me, I won't stop you from using it.
Your neighbors who came up with this name, not me.
I always thought of myself more like a flame, flickering along the rafters and beams. It may be that I gotta work on my technique,
That's not the only technique he's working on. Look at those carved sculptures. And is that a satchel of tools over there?
Do you call those sculptures?
Sure am. Whittling wood used to be something I just did to busy my hands.
What am I going to spend my point on? Can't believe I blew that roll.
Now I use those same hands in service of something greater than my own restlessness.
Honestly, I don't get it. All these figures look half finished.
It's all just for the mother, man. No need to overthink it.
What were you before you became a crabman in the woodcart?
I was in a gangway, but my memories of that time are fading. Most of them are already gone.
Lost memory too, but I like it. It's like I get to create a whole new me, start again from scratch.
That's not really the point, I say. You gotta give yourself over to service. Service of the mother, that is.
Do you remember your name, sir?
Tiago's my name, but those syllables don't mean much to me these days. A name isn't just your identity, but also, so to speak, your place amongst your fellows, your place in the world. I ain't got no use for such a place anymore.
My name is Harry DeVos, and I'm placed in the world as Lieutenant Double Freighter.
That's just the thing, Holmes. None of that matters.
What are you doing here?
This is a special place. There's a perforation in the world up there. A way out into nothingness.
Oh no.
This church was built around it for purposes of veneration.
There's a scene in the old Poltergeist. I can't even know if it's old. There's a scene in Poltergeist where the father comes home from working. There's a lot of unsaid family dynamics in that movie, but the father comes home from working his job that he's underqualified for, and discovers that his stay-at-home wife's been playing with the kids, and they've taken markers or crayons and they've drawn a circle with an X on the ground in the kitchen. And she's like, wait, you got to come here and see this. So there is the little daughter who's wearing a football helmet, and they make her sit down in the circle. And as soon as she sits down in the circle, they have an arrow drawn on the floor, and the little girl gets dragged off of the circle and away from there along the lines on the floor. And the father's like pretty spooked by this whole thing. And wife's like, oh, it's fun. Let's put a chair there, a chair gets dragged. And what it's inferred to be is, well, I don't want to spoil the movie as you may not have seen. It's pretty good. But that's the thing. When you encounter something, as Harry wants to call it, paranatural, don't stick your head in it. You know, watch it from a distance, probe it, but don't stick your head in it. I think he's been sticking his head in it.
I circled it, nurtured by the silence bestowed by the mother. One of these days, I'll be pure enough to go drink from it directly.
Oh. Who's this mother of silence you keep talking about?
Oh, that's no simple question, Essa. She is one who can be painted or sculpted. She is a cavity in the dark beyond sense. She saved me, but I couldn't describe her to you. No one can, Holmes, and no one ever will.
What will happen once you drink from this perforation?
I will be incinerated, but not destroyed. Finally, I won with the state of the world before reality began.
Okay, sure.
That sounds a bit like substitution behavior, no? You know a thing or two about that.
You sure you didn't switch one drug for another?
It's not like that at all, man. It's just faith and joyful service.
Too gleeful, those words. He is lying. Not to you, to his very own self.
Faith is kind of a drug.
I heard that before, Way. And I know I can't convince you on the spot. But think, when's the last time you woke up from silent communion with a hangover, regretting what you did last night?
I think love might have been my drug of choice and still hung over from it.
She took you for a good spin, huh? Don't worry, bro. That love is but a drop compared to the ocean of the mother's love. The mother will eat all of you and never spit you out.
Sorry, not. Let's I was being insensitive. Sorry, let's move on. I'm not really into vor.
No worries, man. I know this shit takes time.
How did you even find this place?
Hard to say. I think I did some construction work here, back when I still had material worries. Up there, I realized what the true purpose of the church was. Been spending a lot of time here ever since. The past is nothing to me now, Way. It didn't belong to me.
I don't understand what you were doing in the
I'm
church.
a seraph, Holmes. I sing the mother's glory.
Seraph? Doesn't really make sense for you to sing if she's the mother of silence.
I don't mean literal singing, Holmes. This is the mother of silence we're talking about. It's the singing of a burning heart.
Music stopped.
You may be thinking, but fire crackles. No, Holmes. That's the material that's burning. The flames themselves are without sound.
Are these yours?
I think they were. A long time ago. I had to shed them like skins.
Oh, gang
to
colors.
get closer to the center of the silence. You could have them. I don't need them anymore.
They look pretty dapper, actually.
Right, I have other
The
questions.
sinewy figure lingers on the wooden beams, blending into the shadows.
Some ravers want to turn this place into a nightclub. No, sorry. Been here a long time.
Police raid a while back.
He responds, his voice suddenly flat.
Did you witness it?
Not really. Or at least I don't remember much of it anymore. The mother's love has done its job. That's what's so great about the mother. It lets you forget about everything.
Some ravers want to turn this place into a nightclub.
The ones in the tent outside, right? I see them. Guessing they're the ones who call me a crab. Probably scared of me.
Wait, do they have a reason to be scared?
Nah, man. They look pretty funny. And I don't harm no one anymore. Anyway.
Anymore. What do you think about the nightclub?
Why not? They wouldn't bother me none. I'm usually way up there, imbibing. Ain't no music on earth that can reach where I go. Might even be nice to have some company.
That's tremendous. Okay then.
I think
Thanks.
we're done here, Essay.
Figure crawls off to the darkness above.
That was an interesting conversation. However, I'm still not sure how it's relevant to our investigation.
It's, not relevant in the way you think, Kim. But it's relevant.
The machine's keyboard is... The machine's keyboard. The speaker comes to...
Good evening. Votre accident en Saint-Brune. This is the East Insulindian Repeater Station 1. Please repeat. Is this the personal log?
Fortress accident like the one in the doomed commercial area?
I have two machines registered to this company name in Martinez. One on Saint-Brune, the other on Rue de Saint-Ghislaine.
Saint-Brune, that's the church. And Rue de Saint-Ghislaine? That's the doomed commercial area.
Anything else I can help you with?
Let's try this again. I think I may have the right password.
Good. Please repeat the password.
Afterlife death.
Good. I have unlocked the filament. After ending the call, please press print to access the filament. Fortress Accident, is there anything else I can do for you today?
What are you, a machine, or are you alive?
Yes, I am alive. I am 74 years old and my name is Yvonne. Now please repeat.
Thank you.
Is this the personal log?
She repeats passwords. Programming people are all paranoid.
It whispers in my ear. Eee. Okay, but where are you? How do you know where I'm at?
I work as a repeater at the East Insulindian repeater station. It's my job to know where you are, Fortress Accident. As for me, well, I am sitting in my cubicle, surrounded by a wall of radios. Now, please tell me why you're calling, Fortress Accident.
You've already given me what I need. Thanks, but I'm finished with this call.
Sleep well, Fortress Accident.
The machine's keyboard is still illuminated, revealing the printer prints out a long text document with dated paragraphs. It looks a bit like someone's journal.
Read the print.
The first entry, made on the 4th of February, 51, by an unknown author, is short and concise. Arrived at the church. The door was boarded up, so I used the crowbar to get inside. Looks like the place has been deserted. Nothing out of the ordinary, but I'll ask around. Need to figure out how to get the electricity in. The lieutenant leans closer, scouring the printout over your shoulder. Just as you finish reading, he looks up, muttering under his breath.
4th of February. That's over a month ago. Whoever set up those machines has been here for quite a while.
This log would be corrected to the case?
Our case? No, I don't think so. It must be some local eccentric.
His eyes wander the various machines around here. Read the second entry.
6th of February, 51. Had a little chat with the local fishermen. Said I shouldn't go near that place, that the church was spooky and ridden with narcotics. It's a little spooky, all
My
right.
favorite.
Still haven't figured out the electricity.
Read the third entry.
7th of February, 51. Finally got the electricity in. Next on the agenda, a new antenna. I'm thinking ESCA series, something advanced.
Why would she need an antenna?
Why would anyone need any of this equipment here?
Except in a wire running on the ground, expecting it with.
For setting up a radio computer.
Yeah. Formidable. Haha. Read the fourth entry.
8th of February, 51. Bought the antenna, had some problems setting it up. Called Simo for help. Heard the others are back to making art. Drinking somewhere out of town. Sulislav started a rock band again. Lexi has been seen asking money from strangers. But at least the artists have their act together. They're qualified labor. They can get work anywhere. Graphic design, ads. The programmers are doing fine too. I mean, they're programmers. The writers, though, they're fucked.
Yeah, this is the remnants of that gaming company that we found in the Dune commercial area.
I just have to find out what caused that data loss and be done with it. Still don't understand how it managed to wipe out the backup when the backup wasn't even connected to the front. I know. Everyone thinks it's impossible. They say I must be lying. I'm here to set it right.
Data loss?
Seems like something to do with radio computers. Unfortunately, I don't know enough about them to understand what the author is saying. Something about the backup data getting destroyed, and how everyone thought it was the author's fault. Let's just keep reading.
Artists, programmers, Lexi, who are all these people?
I think these people worked in the radio computer games business, the one we saw in the Doom commercial area. They must be our former co-workers.
Yep, got it in one there.
12th of February, 51. Brought some food from the grocery store. Apparently, there's a strike going on in the harbor. Definitely not happy to see the Martinez people again. Everything's now set up in the church. Going to start working tomorrow, 8 a.m.
I think I can use the same code. Same password. Yeah, because they're both, most machines are registered.
The strike. We are nearing the date of the murder. Keep reading. I'm interested now. I want to know what's that radio anomaly that sent this person here in the first place.
Read the 6th.
25th of February, 51. I've been sending data up to Lintel for a while now, trying to recreate the data loss, but nothing. Didn't even feel like logging in, the disappointment. But I did discover a curious audio-spatial anomaly at the back of the church. I've named it the Swallow. It swallows sound. Need to get some mics.
Is she talking about?
Lieutenant was right towards the silence. Read the 7th entry.
28th of February, 51. Yes, the first recordings confirm that the Swallow is real and I'm not just losing my mind. It's a pillar of silence with a diameter of approximately 3 meters. Seems like the higher I go, the less I record. This might be a coincidence, or it could be connected to the data loss that led me here.
The pillar of silence. She is talking about the silence. Is she suggesting it's more than just an architectural quirk?
But what could it be? Look at the water basins
The
behind.
lieutenant doesn't answer. He follows your gaze, studying the basins. The water shines in them. No ripples.
Read the 8th.
March 51. Some kind of young disco men have appeared next to the church. I've been trying to record the silence to find the epicenter, but now it turns out I've also been capturing the future of dance music, one neo-disco song over and over again.
That's how it all came up. Well, a bunch of different ways, but disco turned into the house.
Fortunately, the song is so monotonous, I was able to devise an algorithm to factor it out. The other day, one of the disco men came in. Before I could even say hello, she got scared and left. Good, I don't want anyone distracting me from my work. That disco man must be a cell.
Oh, yeah, sure. Yeah.
The girl on the ice? Sounds like her, yes.
Read the 9th entry.
March 51. I got a call from the repeater station. Someone has tried to access the radio computer in our old office in Martinez. Can't do anything about it. The storekeeper still doesn't want to let me inside the building. Thinks I'm part of some kind of curse. How Martinez of her.
That's me. I was the one that broke into the radio computer. Broke it when she plus on.
I knew it wasn't a good idea to meddle with that machine.
No. It was a great idea. You're learning things. This is how you learn things about machines.
Indeed. Read the 10th entry.
March 51. A new 2-meter aux cable. Noodles. Crackers. Ping energy drinks. Water. Toothpaste. Gum. Also some canned air. Your reading is interrupted by the sound of the church door opening. A strange woman makes straight for the radio computer.
Hello. Your head is like a skull. But us programmers are weird people.
Breaking into my radio computer, I see.
Blair is at you as she holds down the off button for several seconds. Machine reboot.
Yes, you are breaking in, but not into her radio computer. You're a master circuit bender.
I do apologize for the intrusion, madame. We are with the RCM, you see.
I'm not gonna say that. You're in a side case representing certain music venue organizers.
Well, you won't find any music venue organizers here.
Barely looks up from the keyboard. You hear the machine whirl back.
It's just me and my computer, and it has been this way for weeks. Now please give me some room. I need 2 seconds to see that you haven't destroyed anything.
We should talk to her after she has rebooted the machine.
It is late.
In white, silver, and apricot faience, the young mother of humanism stands above you. A crack runs across her body. She is impossibly tall, oval-faced and sad, a dark and radiant majesty. This is her innocence, Dolores Day. Cradled in her arms are a pair of glowing lungs, clearly visible from underneath her flowing dress. You should kneel
No.
Cold wind seeps in from the crack in the glass. Snowdrifts cover the floorboards at your feet. Above, you feel her multicolored eyes on you, inspecting you.
No, I'm not your bug.
As that bitter thought passes through your head, the lieutenant draws an X-shaped cross from shoulder to shoulder with 3 fingers.
Not doing the cross either.
Good call. She left us all in the shits. Don't give her a single thing. Just stand there in the apricot-colored light of the window, secretly grinding your teeth. The woman smiles her distant smile, unmoved, struck in half by the crack in the glass.
How did I know this is the mother of humanism?
Despite the damage you've done to yourself, the title appears lodged in your hippocampus. This is Her Innocence Dolores Day, the innocence of humanism, internationalism, and the welfare state. Perhaps the most famous human being ever to have lived.
Doris Day, Dolores Day. Play on that, I'd imagine, along with the day as in God.
No amount of Commodore Red can wipe her sad smile from your brain thing. It has survived the deluge and haunts you still, and will haunt you forever, as it haunts all men.
Wait, what exactly is an innocence?
The highest category of historic individual, an embodiment of the world spirit.
A ruler?
More, an innocence is elected to office by the founding party, a precedent that has taken place a mere 6 times in the entirety of history. The legal system of the Real Belt is built to accommodate an ascentic rule should it coincide with our time. An innocence is infallible. The decisions made by one are not decisions. They are inevitabilities. What would have happened anyway? Only accelerated, packed into decades instead of centuries. An innocence is a continuous, compressed event, a sacred human being. It is an honor and a glory to live when one is in office.
One in office now?
No, we are alone.
Okay, when did she rule?
300 years ago, in the wake of the discovery of this Isola, the Insulindian, by explorers from the continent of Muindi. She is, among other things, the innocence of inter-isolary travel and the connected world.
Again, continent of Mundi. It's like, I mean, that's historical, you know. We thought what we knew of the world was the world, and there was nothing else. You know, calling a continent the world is pretty funny and pretty typical. What else do I know about her?
Many things. You know she was a woman of the court, the wife of an influential Marchese, and eventually the principal advisor to Irene la Navigateur, Queen of Suresnes, modern-day Sir La Clé. Also, that she was gorgeous beyond beauty.
Okay, what else? Was she smart?
Terribly, women of the court were expected to play both contract bridge and chess sufficiently well to prove an interesting challenge to a man. A simple grasp in matters of philosophy, theology, and science was encouraged. She was, by all means, a kept woman.
I see. Being a kept man?
She made the most of her position in the antediluvian court.
Before.
A court visited by the most prominent thinkers and artists of the day. In secret, she was becoming the era's preeminent philosopher of the state. A scalpel, a piercing gaze. She was an almost preternaturally magnetic and intelligent individual. To her contemporaries, she appeared out of time, a messenger from the future of the species. We all fell in love with her, head over heels. Even before she was declared an innocence, her influence was tremendous.
How come?
It was on her advice that Irene la Navigateur sponsored a number of voyages into the Pale. A costly, often tragic endeavor, ultimately vindicated by the discovery of the new world, the piece of reality you're standing on. She was crowned 2 years after the first expedition returned, setting in motion what is widely considered the greatest era in history. The DeLorean era.
Wow.
Wow, indeed. When her innocence was declared, and the queen she had advised for years fell on her knees before her, she was so overcome with emotion that her
I mean, it's
lungs
not
started
any more
glowing
ridiculous.
in her chest.
than anything else. So.
Bystanders reported golden filaments lighting the already sunlit chamber around her, clearly visible beneath her dress. That is why the lungs are the symbol of love for the cultures of the Real Belt.
What more?
As did we all. The lands of the Mesk and the Occident, and even faraway Supremwindi. Altogether, 21 of the 40 Mundial nations of the time immediately accepted Innocentic rule, even before her crowning.
Mesk, the Occident, Supermundi, her crowning.
In a city called Advesperaskit in Vesper Messina, her homeland, the name of the city means evening comes, but it happened on a winter's morning, with the canals frozen and slush falling out of the sky.
Hey, sounds like this.
She was dressed in a white and pearl dress on an emptied-out plaza with the crowd far away. Already, her Theriers, the secret servicemen of the Innocents, were worried about an assassination attempt.
Must have been beautiful.
Oh yes, she looked like humanity's young mother, a perfect mother, insultingly beautiful. It was as if her face and shoulders and hands were covered in a soft down of underfeathers. You know this well, very well. Midwinter snow was beating the cobblestones around her. A small attaché of officials stood by as her Theriers placed a white gold wreath on her head. The crowning was mostly witnessed by secret servicemen.
And what?
One of the men in this secret service killed her 22 years later. A young man who had come to suspect that Dolores Day was not entirely human, but something else. Something that had walked in our midst, watching us stumble for hundreds, if not thousands of years, until it decided to interfere.
Shit.
Interfere in the course of our history. We were supposed to come up with this ourselves. The man was reported to have screamed at the innocents. Dolores Day was shot in the chest with a fowling piece 8 times. The man, thought to be insane, said he once touched her and her body had been unnaturally warm, like a furnace, and that sometimes, while on duty, he observed her forgetting to breathe for over 10 minutes. This inhuman quality was witnessed by many others as well, glowing lungs and all. It is commonly attributed to mass hysteria and religious psychology.
A fowling piece is generally a shotgun, either over under or side by side. So it holds 2 rounds. So shooting her 8 times means he reloaded 3 times, at the very least. Was there something terrifying about her?
Terrifying is a term too emotionally charged for your semantic memory, or what remains of it. But although she's often considered to be the greatest human being to ever live, there was something ominous about Dolores Day, constantly surrounded by her Theriers. She was the most socially secluded and least self-aware of all the innocences. Some modern thinkers would consider her a war criminal for the campaigns she waged against the Mesk state. And then there were the resettlement programs. The Mesk state tried to detach itself from Innocentic rule. Parts of the world were experiencing whiplash from accelerating into secularism. Her mandatory education programs and mass resettlement of upstream Marguerite were problematic as well. Dissenters were suppressed by a military force she called the Army of Humanity.
Sounds familiar?
Suggesting those who fight against it are not part of humanity.
Yep.
She adored chess, yes, but also military war games. Dolores Day often holds a tiny tin soldier between her index finger and thumb. In icons such as this, she was also blonde, the blondest woman you have ever seen, with green eyes the color of the Pacentic, mare interregnum.
Sea between the kings?
Little is known of her Marchese husband. It's as if he vanished from history after completing his role, which was to introduce Dolores Day to court. In conclusion, yes, there is something lonely, paranoid, and even terrifying that people seldom mention, but feel when they think of her. This subtle terror is part of her iconography.
Subslictation.
Lieutenant Yefrater, you've stood there for over 5 minutes.
Lieutenant's calm voice echoes the cold air.
What are you thinking of, if I may ask?
How did we tolerate this bourgeois woman this long before we
She
shot her?
introduced us to the idea of public education, retirement, and modern diplomacy.
His glasses off.
Either way, this church, we shouldn't linger here. This isn't a good place to get lost in.
This is Dolores Day.
The old woman in the village was right. This must be the Delorean Church of Humanity in Martinez, or the small Pinewood Church in some records.
Knew of the place?
It's a minor landmark, not easy to find. Most maps misplace it. It was built not long after Ravachol's founding, 300 or so years ago, by first-generation settlers.
Very shortly after this whole thing went down, it sounds like.
On the coast of an uninhabited archipelago where only animals had roamed before, in the wild reeds.
Uh-huh. What else do you know?
There used to be 7 stave churches on the coast. Les Sept Sœurs, they call them, the 7 sisters. Only one remains. The rest were burnt in the revolution or used for building materials. We should be respectful here, although the building appears to be deserted. I do not believe we'll find anything connected to the lynching here. Something else, perhaps?
Respectful? Is the lieutenant a follower of DeLoreanism?
Are you a follower?
Yes, we all are. Her name, body, and rule are synonymous with humanism. The laws we enforce are DeLorean in origin.
Stroke your chin first.
The woman looks by in silence, smiling enigmatically.
Didn't think you were spiritual.
It's not spiritual, it's constitutional. The DeLorean system does not demand faith, only accordance.
Uh-huh. Visual calculus.
A jigsaw of broken shards falls into place in front of you, a ghostly reconstruction of the stained glass window. Before it was shattered, there was an older woman beneath the younger one, and a text, a light motif below them both.
What shattered this mosaic?
Unknown. A motor carriage? A gunshot? Someone falling into it? Or maybe just hooligans looking for something
You're
to
here.
break?
Who is this older woman?
The escutcheon on her throne says, Irene the Navigator. She is depicted as an older woman wearing thick-rimmed eyeglasses, holding a golden Reichsapfel in one hand and a scepter in the other. This is the queen her innocence day advised. Above, she herself is whole.
Where was it aimed? Reichsapfel.
Small figures of wise men, common men, worshippers walk up the stairs to stand at her feet. Secret servicemen, farriers, stand in a row guarding her. It must have taken years to produce this work in all its dizzying detail.
The motto, what does it say?
Below both women, in luminous black letters, Après la vie, mort. Après la mort, la vie de nouveau.
New.
And then along the left side, Après le monde, la gré. Après le gré, le monde de nouveau.
My French isn't that good at all.
After life, death. After death, life again. After the world, the pale. After the pale, the world again. This is the great leitmotif of humanism, a summary of the effect of the discovery of this isola, the Insulindian, on human thinking, a tremendous sea change akin to finding life after death.
Makes sense. It used to say,
Death, life again. After the world, the pale. After the pale, the world again. This exaltation is common in DeLorean sacralism. In the early years, it was even incorporated as the RCM slogan. No more, however.
why?
It was deemed subservient to use a strongly moral intern-related motto. We already suspected of bootlicking. The sentence was also seen as too feminine. It was a macho thing.
Both. What's the RCM motto now?
Justice, union, prudence, and force.
Whoa! Not very feminine.
Not at all.
Step back.
The mother of humanism towers above you. A wax painting on a cracked pane of glass. Nothing has changed in her expression.
Apple. Ruling apple. Well, I guess it's kind of like someone I know was just talking about Assassin's Creed right away. Okay, let's talk to her real quick. Then it's time to go to bed.
What is it?
Hey, were you the lead programmer of What All Untethered by any chance?
Yes. Or no. Not anymore. That project is dead.
She doesn't seem surprised to be recognized. Rather sad. Something passes over her face before she straightens her back.
Didn't break anything, did I?
No, you just printed out my personal log and wasted some paper.
It's not looking like a big block. Sorry, who are you? What are you doing here?
I am Soona Luukkanen-Kilde, the former lead programmer of Fortress Accident and RSA radios. I have over 16 years of programming experience, and I'm proficient in both Vox and Orbis languages.
Wow. The world and the world and the word.
If you're not here to hire
Or the
me,
voice.
I don't really know how I can help you.
Right back to the truth.
Did she say over 16 years of experience? She must have started programming when she was still a teenager. That still doesn't answer what she's doing in an abandoned church.
How do you feel about hypnotic dance music?
What? I hate it.
I bet she hasn't even heard it.
Wow, that was quick. Why do you hate it?
Maybe I'd have to be on drugs to get it, but to a sober mind it just sounds like uninspired rug whipping. No idea what it has to do with either dancing or music.
What do you feel about a club for hypnotic dance music?
This is about those speed freaks in the tent, isn't it? I've got some news for you. It's not a nightclub they want to build here.
Oh yeah, what do they want to build then?
Take a guess, why don't you?
Still convinced they want to establish a nightclub for hypnotic dance music. This is their dream.
I can't believe they got you so easily. Go have another talk with the...
Good luck.
Not
I'm
coming in
not
there.
coming in there.
Have you seen the Crabman?
Nope.
But you know he's around.
Yes.
He's seen you.
And?
Okay, it's probably not a big deal then.
No. You're right. I'm not.
Why are there so many machines in this place?
I brought them here. These are my machines. Please don't touch anything.
Why do you need an antenna?
I use the AR1 as my RAIN prefix processing unit.
Very perfect. That's your radio computer, right?
Mm-hmm.
The antenna is its processing
Yes.
unit?
You really don't know anything about radio computers, do you?
I don't really know much about this world. Anything in this world, to be honest.
All right. Well, all radio computers perform operations up on air. So in order to gain more processing power, you need to invest in a good antenna.
Wait, what's on air?
On the front, the unified front of radio waves, licensed and controlled by Lintel in the East Insulindic region. It's all around us. That's what on air means.
Unified front.
Like love.
The R1 is a good antenna?
I guess it is. So far, I've been quite satisfied with it. Martinez is an unstable region with bad coverage, and the operation has been surprisingly stable. But it's not the cheapest one on the market. So I wouldn't recommend it for your regular red tape operations. Fraser 1000 is a foolproof line for civilians. Anyway, you should do some research before you decide to buy anything. Ask around, compare the prices. There are many milieux dedicated to that sort of thing.
What are you doing with your radio?
I'm working.
The machine seems almost alien with its pulsing core. The light casting her face in a strange shadow.
Working on what?
Could you just shh for a moment? Or get to the point. I really need to focus on something.
Isn't your Ream perfect radio computer exclusively made for the government use?
So you do know something about computers. You're right. Prefect is used mostly by the government peeps.
Why do you have it?
Because I needed something good for my investigation, and RAIM Civic is widely agreed to be below all standards. So I had to upgrade. Besides, owning a RAIM Prefect isn't such a big deal anymore.
No, Actually, it is kind of a big deal. You don't see ream prefects in every police department, for example.
How'd you get your hands on it?
I know a friend of a friend who used to freelance for the Coalition. I was actually aiming for the military-grade RAIM Rational series, but couldn't find one.
Just nonchalantly scratching your ear.
Prefect is mainly based on the same technology as RAIM Civic, so it's kind of a rip-off. But it does have better compatibility with newer antenna models, so I won't complain.
What are those bowls of water over there?
They are connected to my RAIM Prefect. Whatever you do, just please don't move them, okay? Thanks.
Short and terse. There you have it. Whatever she's using them for, they're hers.
I'll try not to touch it. Oh yeah, thanks for the translation, Huntress.
Great.
What are you doing this? I'm in church.
You really like those questions, don't you?
There's a hidden amusement there. I'm a police officer. It's my job to ask questions.
I'm conducting scientific research here. You can't throw me out.
This is ready to stand your ground again.
I'm looking for the location of a 2mm hole in the world.
Wait, what? She's looking for a disruption in the radio waves. That's what her personal log said. The lieutenant raises his brows, but doesn't say anything.
Is the hole connected to the data loss in your journal?
Yes, that's what led me here. But I suspect it might be something a bit more complicated than that.
Hole in the world. What does that mean exactly?
Exactly. What does it mean? Up to now, it has been impossible to say what it is because it's impossible to measure nothing. What do you think it is? What qualities does nothing have? How do you measure something that does not exist?
Pretty easy to measure. Just gotta compare it against something.
That's a little above your pay grade at the moment.
Hold on a moment. Does it mean we're living in a world that has holes in it?
I don't know. Are we? That's what I'm trying to figure out here. But how do I figure it out?
I can't even understand what we're talking about, so we can do this, let alone measure it.
You measure it by its surroundings.
Yeah.
By that which does exist. Which is what I've been trying to do. I've tried using hydro transducers to record the silence. To find out where it begins.
Hydro transducers. So that's what those water basins are. Devices for recording sound through water.
But honestly, it's not progressing very well.
Any idea where this hole might be located?
Somewhere underneath those roof beams, I assume.
He looks up, eyes try to pierce the pitch black heights above, but without much success.
Only a faint crisscross of rafters can be made out from the dark. Most of the tower disappearing into the shade.
Why there?
There's this place at the back of the church. A place where all audible vibrations seem to cease. I've named it the Swallow. And the higher you go, the less you record.
The Pillar of Silence? Are you sure it's not just an architectural quirk?
Maybe, but it's oddly close to the physical coordinates of the data loss that led me to this place.
This is where the Crabman lives.
I know.
Do you think the Crabman might be somehow responsible here?
No, I don't.
The research isn't going well. Why not?
Because it's just trial and error. Trying to locate the Swallow, the exact point in space. And I don't have a... You know what? It would be really helpful if you could just stop talking and let me work.
You don't have a what?
Great. Thanks.
Hey, about that 2mm hole again.
The Swallow, you mean?
Okay.
Great.
Let you work in peace again. Okay. I'm gonna go take a look again. So it wasn't who I thought it was. Absolutely was not who I thought it was. Let's put this back in my hand. I saw a bottle. Heck yeah. Move out of the way, Kim. I got a bottle to pick up. Oh. Back here. I had a thought. Keep the stained glass window. Still has letters on it, too. Yeah. My right ear. Not sure what that was. Oh,
Hey, Innocence Dolores Day liked little figurines, right? Liked holding little men between her fingers, remember?
yeah.
You have the Headless Falcon Rider figurine. You should give it to her. Win her back.
It's a task of mine, yes.
So very, very, very nifty. Nifty and mysterious. This is surely what the figurines are for.
That seems a little bit nihilistic there, Huntress, to run away with the crab man. Because I think he wants to stick his head in the hole. And generally sticking your important parts in physical non-spaces leads to bad things. In my experience. Could be wrong. We could be my. You are a bad influence. Oh, it is dark. It is dark AF. But, I think I got fast travel from the church. So let's go to items. Map. Go to my map. Interact.
The worn map features your finger move finally coming to a...
For a more detailed view of the map, go to your journal and select the map tab.
Okay. My journal. Click the map tab. Let's go back to Fisherman's Shack.
Your finger moves through, finally coming to a halt on the...
For a more detailed view of the map, go to your...
The map away. I'm going to go inside the church and try traveling from there. It'll be a while before we're enlightened. Okay, cool. I'm just going to tell you, and every time, there's a way you can fast travel. Arg. I wish what's his face was here. Oh, almost here, my motorway south. Wish Eckless was here to tell me how to fast travel. There we go. Gotta be like on the porch. Now I can go to sleep. I'm hungover.
It's getting cold this late in the night. Time to call it a day.
Good night, Kim.
Good night, officer. We'll meet in front of the shack in the morning.
Okay. Oh. Using a thermodynamic expander condenser cycle. Nice.
An old mirror hangs on the wall. You see your reflection in it. The expression fixed to your clean-shaven face. You're still not accustomed to it.
Mirror beef now. 8%. 2, 1. 5% check. Let's fire it up. Ready? 3, 2, 1.
Still not happening. It won't come off that easy.
Here for now.
The bed is comforting, if a bit run down. Still, you've earned a rest.
Go to sleep. Better than sleeping in that messy
Across
couch I
the
blew up.
room, the heating system hums its soft lullaby. The mattress feels soft and sheets warm. It only takes you moments for the world to fall away.
That's how it usually is for me. Not last night. Yuck. Big fat yuck.
Thoughts, baby. A million little lights in the dark. You're one fine instrument, brother. All those faces and all those names. All that laughter and screaming and scheming around. Every corner and every street. Recorded in you forever on Ferrotape.
Spinning in a turn.
On and on it goes, for untold hours. At the disco where you first asked her to dance. Rising, rising, above the dark curvature, the great wingspan of sleep, studded with stars.
Yeah, it'd be nice, but hey, lizard brain's never fun.
Behold, there are millions of them down there. The first time, the last time, the smoke in her mouth, the plotted flowers, the faces turning, changing.
What is it?
It's the world, Harry boy, and you're made of it. Every day you're out there, you make more of yourself from it. I'm afraid you can't be unmade now. You can never forget this shit.
Colors, the voices.
All stuck on loop, whirling, spitting out words and images. You're the son of the world again, Harrister, a ceaseless agent, picking up litter and old newspapers, collecting your little bubblegum wrappers and idiotic picture postcards. Meaningless keepsakes. Reading your awful letters and recalling things, aren't you? The endless names of the world. An address book you are. The map of a city.
That's right, I am an agent of the world.
You'll go insane if you keep going like this. One more day, and you'll be in the loony bin. I just know you will. And for what, brother man?
For the working class.
For the working class.
Solving your little crossword puzzles, doing your tasks, crossing names off lists, trying to become some sort of world detector. It won't make it okay. It won't put smoke back in her mouth.
I'm building communism for all. This time we won't fail.
There he goes again. He's a real political animal, our Harry. He still doesn't see that it's the world changing around him. He's got no idea what he's in for.
Feel the pillow.
Beep, beep, beep. The alarm is ringing, Harry. The disco circus goes on and on. You barely slept 3 hours last night.
Do it for the picture puzzle. Put it all together. Solve the world. One conversation at a time.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Open your eyes. Fuck yes. That is how I do it.
Rise and shine, comrade. It's time to get to work.
What's going on?
Despite all the thinking you've been doing, only 0.0001% of communism has been built. It's too great a task to undertake alone. You're going to have to get organized.
Have you seen my shit recently? Gotten really together.
It's good that your personal business is in order, but we're talking about political matters of world historical import here. You must seek out your revolutionary brothers and sisters. Find out how much communism they've built. Then, together, maybe you'll be able to build as much as 0.0002% of communism, but it won't be easy. Decades of persecution by coalition authorities have driven the remaining communists of Martinaise underground.
But I'm part of the coalition authorities. I've been persecuting communists this whole time.
Possibly. If you have been, it's only because you're a double agent acting in furtherance of your long-term objectives.
Guess so. Seems reasonable.
Listen to this. Do you really think you're the kind of person an underground communist cell would entrust with a mission that requires such discretion?
Probably not.
Regardless, What's past is past. You need to look forward to the work of building communism for all.
I'm trying. How can we find them if they're
Let
hiding?
your nose guide you, detective.
It must mean my nose isn't a huge and highly functioning brain.
No, we meant your nose, as in that swollen muck detector in the center of your face. It just happens to be perfectly calibrated for sensing communists. We really have no idea what they're talking about. There's no linkage between ideology and olfaction.
Does communism smell like?
Failure.
Yes, it does. What does failure smell like?
It's a smell you know all too well. Simultaneously repulsive and yet darkly appealing. Musty with a sharp tang, but also a remnant of lost sweetness. Like a rotting mango that's been swaddled in a coat from your grandfather's attic.
Boom.
What you're smelling is your own body odor, of course. Nothing a shower and change of clothes couldn't fix. People sometimes complain there are no real communists left in Martinez. But you can smell their presence. They're out there, waiting for you to join them. Incidentally, during the waning days of the anti-centennial revolution, a number of Revacholian communards constructed elaborate hideouts in abandoned root cellars, hollowed out tree trunks, and even residential sewage tanks. This latter phenomenon gave rise to the early anti-communist slogan, "The future's bright when you flush out the white."
Okay, I'm ready. Let's get organized.
First, you'll have to locate the remaining communists in Martinez. When you get near to someone with revolutionary potential, your nose will give you the signal to establish contact. Again, no, it won't. Any olfactory response you perceive will be strictly psychosomatic. Judging from the bust of Krasnov and other revolutionary paraphernalia you discovered, it seems that the Cape Side apartments may be a hotbed of communist activity.
Oh, ouch. I just love my nose arguing with my brain. There you go. What will I do once I establish contact with my fellow communists?
You'll discuss the monumental world historical task that lies before you. You'll engage in rigorous and spirited debates about Mazovian theory and practice. But mostly, you'll probably complain about other communists.
Hey, so it's Twitter. The last part kind of counterproductive.
Not at all. Complaining about other communists is one of the most important parts of being a communist.
All right, let's get to it.
Here we go. Wake, brave worker, 'tis no time for bed. Fight till there's no slaves below, and no masters o'erhead.
Okay, that's fantastic. I'm screenshotting that. Man. Hey, I got an achievement for that. Good morning. 7:30.
Yes?
Hold on a second. For a smell can.
The lieutenant's posture becomes rigid and uncomfortable as you lean forward and sniff the area just above his shoulder blade. The lieutenant is fastidious as a cat in matters of his personal upkeep. And yet, in the folds of his jacket, you can just perceive the stale and acrid traces of oil rags, transmission fluid, and brake pads. Wait. There's something else there. Something that sets your GABA receptors aflutter.
Ooh.
The lieutenant's aftershave, a common drugstore brand. Strong hints of pine needle.
Old Spice.
But what sort of ideological picture do these smells paint? Tough to say.
Do you need something, detective?
That's what I suspect. You know, Lieutenant, you're a mechanic.
I do like to hang around the motor pool every now and then, but that doesn't make me a mechanic. Sort of like how hanging around the liquor store hasn't made you into a master distiller.
Hey, I've been doing better. Beautiful. Beautiful shot, Kim.
You're right, detective. My apologies.
Oh, apologies.
Was there something else you wish to discuss?
Oh, fantastic. Maybe you can clean my clothes. Use a shower.
The policeman.
No luck. However, run. Okay, I stand on the porch. I'm going to go to my journal. I'm going to pull up the map. And I'm going to travel to Martinez waterfall. And I'm going to dispose of some bottles, hopefully. Oh, I got to make a fucking... Oh, Jesus Christ. Let me swear here. What are you guys doing? I better save this. This looks important.
That's one brutal motor carriage.
Says a young man with, I'm not saying that. With piss F slur written on his back.
If I were a real skull now, I'd jack it, paint it in palm tree livery, then bottom light it, neon style.
His companion wears a simple yet elegant slogan. Fuck the world.
A snazzy shit-ripped skullmobile like this would make a fine trophy. We could, like, hang fucking shrunken heads from the side mirrors. Cops' heads. Scary tribal shit.
Yeah, tribal shit. A cop carriage like this would have proper skull value.
He agrees.
While I appreciate the interest you take in my brutal motor carriage, I have to stop you right there. The RCM takes threats directed at its property seriously.
Ha ha ha, there it is. Good cops, protecting property, not people.
It's just theoretical work, Copper. No basis in reality. Man, if we were certified skulls right now...
He turns to his companion. Who are
I
you?
can tell you who we're not, cop. We're not snitches or skulls.
Appreciate they bleep that word.
Which is not to say that the skulls are bitches and... On the contrary.
You guys are nerds.
The part of this presentation you want to take home with you, cop man, is we're not part of the skulls yet.
Okay then, let's indulge in some intellectual exchange. These young men seem eager to share their beliefs.
Do you know the Cindy the Skull?
Oh yeah, Cindy's a right proper skull.
Yeah, a true artist of the future, just like Arno van Eyck.
The other guy lights up too. The young man's eyes glaze over, voice filled with longing.
By the way, if you see Cindy, give her our regards.
Turn to whatever void he was just visiting.
For all their nihilistic posturing, these young men are not lacking in youthful idealism. The lieutenant on your left is unusually lenient toward them.
So you kids are into hypnotic dance music.
Oh man, yeah. We're not fucking kids, man.
Be wary of the abyss.
Why?
It's a threat. An impotent threat of violence.
Want to talk? That's direct. Good, I like those.
But I don't. In fact, I dislike them so much I'm willing to drag you boys back to the station just to calm myself down.
Whoa, Kim going hard.
Hey, there's no need for that. We're just talking here. Joking too. Stay light, man.
Yeah. Didn't you cops, like, have some questions about skulls or some shit?
Why aren't there more skulls in Martinez?
The Union does their share of policing in Martinez, at least where gangs are concerned. That's why there isn't much organized crime around here.
Apart from the unions themselves, of course.
Oh, yeah.
Don't you worry about that. We're gonna make up for the deficit.
Yeah, we are.
You're what it's confusing. Are you not part of the skulls or not?
We're not franchise skulls. Well, not yet. Once we get our name out there, we'll have a chance to join them.
And what makes you think that organization would accept you?
Because we can be just as psycho and vicious. You'll see.
But in a non-threatening and definitely legal way.
Someone quickly adds and whispers something to his friend.
We'll fuck the system from the inside later. Just be cool now. The damage will be tenfold.
Right on, fuck. So what's happening now?
Enough of the scullery then.
Mm-hmm.
What's with the jackets?
What about them?
Why does your jacket have piss F slur written on it?
Well, first off, it's a statement and not necessarily something that characterizes me as a person, even though the statement has character. And I do like piss.
White person blinking .gif.
The word piss epitomizes the struggle taking place in the world. Things being defined as they seem, not as they are. And, I guess, it's also about communal spirit, the future, and truly appreciating our differences.
I need some whiskey.
Also, you've got to admit, it catches the eye. And since the Grand Piper is slowly but steadily moving towards basing the economy on it, attention, it is imperative that the medium itself convey the message.
What?
What I mean by this is, we are all piss and that the world is inherently meaningless.
It seems that the young man has a certain expertise in at least one field, even if it's
Wow, I
rather
love money
narrow.
now. Why do you have "fuck the world" on your jacket?
Like I said before, many men keep searching for the one, for so-called true love, which is actually just
I don't
obsessed.
care.
I'm wondering if the poetics come with the jacket, or are they derived from something else entirely?
To catch a fish, you'll need to hurl the lure many times, and even then it isn't certain that you'll get anything. If you blow up the lake, though,
That's a terrible metaphor.
you get more fish in a shorter time. And, for time is of the essence and fleeting ever so quickly, one must think of a way to fuck the whole world and not get caught up in fucking someone. Because when one fucks everything, he fucks nothing. And that, to me, feels glorious. Sticking your dick into the void.
Oh, well, boys, you wouldn't believe what we found. A 2-millimeter hole in the world.
Hate to admit it, but in a weird way, he's got a point. Is it a coincidence that here we have 2 badass jackets and 2 badass cops?
Hey, Kim,
Yes?
what do you think about the jackets?
Leather jackets adorned with immature writing? The ideology they convey helps the boys justify poor choices in life and fashion. I'm not a fan.
Why do you always patronize it when cool possibilities cross your path?
What are you implying?
Which one would you wear?
I'm not sure I understand you, detective.
Are you more of a piss F-slur or more of a fuck the world kind of guy?
Neither.
Come on, Kim, it's just a mental exercise for now.
Fine, if only to end this discussion. Theoretically, if I were a juvenile delinquent, if I were to already be down that path, I think peace is the stronger of the two statements.
Right. That works. I feel more like a fuck the world kind of guy.
Seems about right, especially considering your heroic exit attempts.
That's an origin story for a dynamic duo right there.
Hell yeah.
So are we done here? Or you don't need us around for your secret whisper party, do you?
Who are the skulls?
You don't know? What kind of cop are you?
It's not a question. Don't get into it.
So glad you
The
asked.
question was rhetorical. The Skulls are the most vicious gang of the Besmertnay.
Mm-hmm.
Besmatine, or the Besmati, the Immortals, are West River Sholian crime syndicates.
The nastiest bunch of psychos ever. Jacking carriages and getting into high-speed chases.
Possessing an infinite amount of fuck-all swagger, infamous for their non-verbal modus operandi.
Nonverbal.
If a skull spots you, he will pull out his dagger and stab you without saying a word.
The lieutenant's voice is as calm as usual, a testament to the violence and death he's witnessed through the sight of his firearm.
They usually occupy the burnt-out quarter in Jamrock, or you can find them loitering around a brightly painted bottom-lighted vehicle.
I can't wait to become a skull. Bottom lights are wretched aggressive.
You know anything about the murder took place here? Point to the other.
Murder?
Man was hanged in the backyard of the Whirling in Rags.
Yeah, sure. We'll gladly tell you everything we know about it. It was a man.
Also, he was hanged.
Anything else?
He was hanged from a tree.
Yeah, I mean...
These punks don't know anything. Let's just move it.
Hey! Stop right there! How does one know anything?
It's like talking to Wayne and Garth.
Ah, this sounds like epistemology. A field so occupied by thought that it begins to question thought itself.
This is getting all this free money now. I know you don't know shit.
Exactly. How can one know shit? For example, how can one be sure that there truly is a body hanging behind a hostel?
What if it's art? Or just a mere specter?
It's not. It's the man is dead and we need answers.
So what do you think we know?
You know what happened to this victim's armor?
Nope. But Cindy does.
Don't tell him that. Skulls don't tattle, man. Cindy wouldn't.
Where can I find this Cindy?
You already said she's a skull. The last I saw her...
Just
yeah.
don't tell her you heard it from Piss and Fuck, alright? I think she wanted those gloves for herself. Be cool, man. Okay?
All right, we have a lead on the gloves.
Just off-brand skulls. I'll talk to you. He's definitely been something. I wonder if I can get... Ooh, I leveled up already. Yes. Yes. My perception. I want to go stare at that hole in the world. But I also want to make a phone call.
Inside, you see a set of steering levers, a radio microphone, a puller...
Radio.
This is Precinct 57. How may I assist you?
You can find more information in the owner of the armored boots.
Sorry, sir. I still haven't heard back from the database people. Try calling again later. Is there anything else I can do for you?
Connecting to the Jamrock Public Library. Oh, I'm going to report a dead body in the Martinez boardwalk.
One moment.
You hear a shuffling paper.
Can you please describe the body? Age, sex, cause of death?
An unidentified middle-aged man, height 170 to 175 centimeters, dark hair, medium build. Looks like he fell through a hole in the boardwalk and hit his head against a metal bench.
We suspect he might have been inebriated when he fell. There were bottles all around him and traces of vomit on his shirt.
Any signs of violence?
It seems like he was an accident.
No field autopsy necessary.
You can hear her quickly typing in the background.
What about his belongings? Did you examine his clothes?
He was wearing boots, trousers, and an old leather jacket with a bright blue lining. I found his library card in his pockets.
Any information on the library card?
It's from the Central Jamrock Public Library. It belongs to someone named Billy Majan.
Good. You have a lead. Do you and Lieutenant Kitsuragi want to take the case, or should I assign it to someone else?
We're taking the case.
I have assigned the case to Lieutenant Kim Kitsuragi. Please follow up on this library lead to identify the man. We'll send someone to take the body to the morgue. That's all for now. Thank you for reporting in. Is there anything else I can do for you?
Connect me to the Jamrock Library.
I'm afraid they're closed. It's here.
We should try again.
Anything else, Detective?
Done with the radio for now.
57th, over and out.
In the cabin, you see a set of steering levers, a radio on a hook, a pull-out toolbox, and the soft glow of a metallic drawer. A pull-out toolbox.
Close the door. Beautiful. What if I can get somewhere half-light and try to get those jackets? Would be fun, wouldn't it? Let's get rid of this, all these 75,000 bottles I have. Game is such a joy to play.
The tear machine stands in the corner. A sign says, 1 bottle equals 10 cents.
Our bottles.
Your bottles clunk into the machine, and the money appears with a satisfying jingle. You're a richer man now.
What if I can get something I can tune up my...
Is this about the questions again?
What can I buy?
You see several packaged raincoats fill a low shelf beneath a display of croissants and juice bottles. The raincoats are transparent, except for the big... A small cabinet on the wall is filled with various medicine bottles, nasal sprays, and blister packs. They all bear the Saint Baptiste Pharmaceutics logo.
I think I'm doing good on drugs right now.
A colorful display of
Again, I'm obliged to inform you that both alcohol and cigarettes damage your health.
Yes, they do.
Here you go, mister.
Pilsner.
Here you go, mister.
And now I can go. Okay. Now I'm doing really well for money. Now I get free money just for answering questions. Like there's an Alex Trebek in my pocket or something. Now, technically it'd be asking questions, wouldn't it? But whatever. Stand right here. Pull up my map. Actually, let's check our journal, see what we're... Find the armored gloves. So far, can I? Offer some figures. Okay. Help the ravers. Tell Andrew about Suna's thoughts in the nightclub. Oh yeah, that's what I wanted. Thank you. Let's get that printout. That fucking thing in her hand. You know, I keep that thing on me. I keep that thing on me.
This orange machine is dead still. It
Can't do that yet. What? This was a cellar where some communists were hiding. I've sniffed them out.
A few bricks have fallen off, revealing a compartment behind.
Seems like an old... It means there are fire.
He likes this find.
Okay. Alright, dealt with that. We use the radio waves to do computing. CPU is your antenna.
Tiles on the cube are still smoldering, casting the framework in a soft glow.
Press play.
Comes to life.
Good morning.
Yes.
Accident.
This is a human interface.
Please repeat. Is this the production schedule?
You honest me again. How are you?
Good. Thank you. Please repeat. How can I help you?
Let's try the password for the production schedule.
Good. Please repeat the password. Good. I've unlocked the production schedule. After ending the call...
That's an old CAG.
She just used the same password? Maybe those radio computer guys aren't that paranoid after all.
Seems disappointed. Discover that.
Fortress accident.
That's all for now.
Tiles on the cube are with a quiet determination. The printer starts printing, a piece of paper unfolding like a handheld fan.
Read the printout.
It's a project report written by the lead producer, Andrew Andy Schott, about Whirl Untethered, a radio game developed by Studio Fortress Accident. The first few pages give an overview of the capital and workforce, while the rest of it seems to be a production schedule.
Read about the workforce. Who worked there for how long?
Fortress Accident employed 18 people, the bulk of the team composed of writers and concept artists. There were also radio programmers, sound engineers, a CEO, 2 marketing experts, and a single overburdened producer who developed a habit of popping Pyrrolidon in the basement to escape his obligations. Why did Fortress Accident have so many concept artists?
Why did the radio game need so many artists?
It didn't.
It didn't need so many concept artists?
No, definitely not. A few more producers could have come in handy though, especially when dealing with writers, some of whom routinely skipped work because of mental health issues and extremely unprofessional sleep schedules. One of them even managed to steal some valuable company property before skipping town for good.
Read about capital. Want to know about money.
In its short time of existence, Fortress Accident SCA managed to burn through truly insane amounts of money. The first tranche of seed financing brought in 150,000 Riyal, but then came the delays. Eventually, the damage reached 400,000 Riyal, with only half of the game finished.
Where did they get all this money?
Let's just say it was a real adventure for their Igaunian investor.
Let's get into the production schedule. Whatever it is.
The production schedule depicts their glorious descent into bankruptcy.
Because of the concept artist?
Not the concept artists. It wasn't even the writers. With their panic attacks and 3-hour lunches, it was impossible not to fail. The project was too large, and no amount of money could satiate the ever-expanding ambitions of the development team.
Scope creep, more like scope sprint.
They tried to make a 4 million real game with 400,000 in their bank account. They thought they could bridge the gap with pure willpower and imagination. They couldn't.
I could have bridged the gap.
No, you couldn't have.
Oh, I'm just really enjoying just like all of a sudden in this particular day of my playthrough, my brain going, no, fuck you. What do you mean? I totally could.
Definitely not. Not a chance. Even then, success remained within an ever-narrowing margin of possibility that, despite everything, never entirely disappeared. That is, until they discovered the Valley of the Heads.
What?
At the 11th hour, the lead designer, Jimsk-born Sulisław Jalisa, decided that what Wirral Untethered needed was a secret mystical location at the extreme edge of the map. This place was to be the Valley of the Heads, where the heads of all the headless constructs could be found. The player would have been able to choose a head for their headless party member, and each head would have been voiced on air by a professional actor.
This is some insane shit. Who are these people?
The world had never seen their kind before, and might never again.
This is casting many strange shadows. Anyway, how many heads were there?
So many. The last count, there were approximately 10,000 heads for 10,000 headless men, all of which could be endlessly recombined.
1 to 10 to the, like, geez, 11th? How many combinations make out of that?
Do you really want to know? There seems to be a calculation here, but it may take a while.
Let's not go there.
Good call. It's more than the number of atoms in the observable universe.
That's pretty bad, so that's what did him
Well,
in?
yeah, that and the catastrophic data loss.
Let's be the anomaly.
On the nature of the data loss, there's ominously little information in the production log. It comes at the very end, where things get fuzzy and dark, where tables and numbers seem to vanish into an eerie nothingness, before the Igaunian investors pulled the plug. What is clear is that one day, an unidentified numeric anomaly occurred on the East Insulindian Lintel front, just as the Wirral Untethered project was being compiled that day.
That anomaly caused all the data to get lost in the air.
When the project was returned, it was completely blank.
Compiler failure.
The team spent weeks on the phone with Lintel, the service provider, but despite their diagnostics, they could never produce a satisfactory explanation or pay for the loss.
Wasn't there a copy of the game, a backup?
Mysteriously enough, it seems that the off-site copy happened to be on-site when the catastrophic data loss occurred. It was the lead programmer's responsibility to oversee weekly maintenance of the off-site copy and, well, keep it off-site. An explanatory note from the lead programmer has been attached. S. Luukinen Kilda, the lead programmer of Fortress Accident. The off-site copy was on-site because there was no off-site anymore. Not for me, not after 8 months of crunch. I didn't have a home anymore. So I started keeping it in the basement in the ice bear refrigerator near where I went to sleep. It was perfectly safe there. The temperature conditions were optimal.
Seems a perfectly reasonable explanation.
That's not what her colleagues thought. She's right, actually. Nothing wrong with keeping this type of filament memory in a fridge.
Anything else from the sleep programmer?
The production schedule ends with a few random notes that seem to be added sometime later.
Read the notes at the end.
4 months later, by an unknown author. I am the only one left, and it's gotten rather damp here. A few other businesses have gone under, too. Slipstream switched to making skis, and the hairdressers just left, cursing Martinez. They're right, though. Something's seriously wrong with this place. Martinez, all of it. still haven't got an answer from Linton about what happened. All I could get were the physical coordinates of the error on the East Insulindian front on that day. Since the computation happened on air, I reckoned it had to coincide with an actually existing location. I have compared the coordinates to a map of Revachol West. Turns out it's only 800 meters from here. The address is Saint-Brun 1147. I am going there to look this thing in the eye. Saint-Brun 1147? That's what the street sign next to the church said. Tiles on the cube are still smoldering, casting the framework in a soft glow. The filament slides out of its glowing nest. It's empty like a beehive without the filament you have.
All right. Exactly what I needed. We're wrapping this up shortly. How could they have been wiped out at the same time? That's what I don't get. Could have been impossible. Doing a quick check of my gear. See if I have anything that can provide me some half-light. There we go. I can put that gloves on for one half-light. No. Nope, I need that. Oh, it's okay. I'm sorry, Cap. I'm glad you made it. I post these playthroughs on YouTube as well. They always can be watched after. Missed having you here. Happy New Year. Let's go hit it. Still could use some tools. Where's that drunk? Ah, he's gone. He's probably in different spots during the day. Anyhow, I would go bother that woman, but I'm not going to do that right now. We go stand on the porch and take this fast travel. Hope you had a wonderful holiday, Cat. Yeah. I'm glad the holidays are over. And that's all I'll say. Things were kind of a nightmare. Yeah. Better than the alternative. Let's talk to you real quick.
Hello again.
Okay, can't talk to her. Let's talk to the leader quick. Hopefully you guys aren't all methed out.
Again. So, how are things going?
I know about the church. I checked it out.
And? What happened?
I talked to the crab man.
Oh, man. Who is he? What did you think?
Seemed okay. Very spiritual.
Really? Huh. Interesting. What's he doing in the church?
He's just praying and preaching and praying from the looks of it.
No matter. Is he going to be a problem? Yeah. Noid is right. Let's get back to the point. What are we going to do?
These guys will never catch him. You will never catch him. There's nothing to do.
As far as I can tell, he's not going to leave. He'll climb around up there, and guys, you'll never catch him. But he told me he wouldn't mind a nightclub at all.
I don't know, man. Doesn't it feel like a major hindrance to you? A spooky guy climbing around when all the guests are trying to have nice, friendly hyper time?
Don't worry, I don't think he really gives a damn about you or anyone
I
else.
guess it's not a massive problem, now that I think of it.
Everyone is welcome to dance till the morning light! Yeah! Maybe. I guess we'll figure something out. Okay, but what about the other spooker? The one in Grandma's clothes.
She was
Did
using
you see her?
The lead programmer, Fortress Accident. She appeared.
Programmer? That's odd. What was she like? Did you ask her about the nightclub?
She did not like the hypnotic dance club
What a
idea.
pity! That's my favourite thing in the world! And she doesn't like it at all!
A shame. What can we do now? Do you see a way out of this jam? And into a laser-lit future of dance and unity?
Unity! Dance!
Be very clear she won't leave into her own products.
And you can't just evict her?
No, I'm with Victor. We have to come up with a different solution.
Look at you, Honor Man.
No, Noid. He's right. Maybe we've approached it the wrong way after all. I'm sure there's a workaround. We can make a deal not to bother her. If that's okay with her, we only want to get in the church and spread the joy and ecstasy of music.
The lines in the dark exist! Coexist!
At least Crabman seems like an advanced being. He's hard. He'll understand.
Yeah, he can do his climbing thing in the tower. And the programmer, does she like anodic dance music?
She absolutely does not. Really despises it.
Egghead cannot believe what you just said. It makes him pump the jam a little slower for a moment, but then he returns to the full swing of it.
No worries. We'll figure it out. If coexisting fails, you can always muscle her out, right? If it's all okay with you, what do you think?
I refuse to throw her out, but I can try convincing her.
Excellent! Good luck, my friend.
I know Noid has his size. What's the deal with Egghead here?
He's a quiet man, mostly communicates through music, and by being a master of ceremonies.
How do you communicate with him?
He's just kind of here. I don't really know how to communicate with him.
You ever really talk to him?
Yeah, sometimes. When I stumble and find my way into his center, you have to hear a lot of hardcore to the mega first though.
The man smiles mysteriously, choosing to let the beat speak for itself. I get it. He's a puzzle.
I'll leave for now.
Officer.
I only have a few minutes left, so I'm not gonna try to get into that. However, I am gonna go back to the church. Well, hope there were some enjoyable elements to your holiday there, Cat. Oh. Game Adjust lead programmer, Fortress Accident. Fortress Accident. I remember butt cheeks before. Playerbooks. Surfacing the Perkinasian litany of love. I want to be able to redo that look. I want to see to the ceiling. Sounds coming through the ceiling again. Let's talk.
Yes, what is it?
What if you didn't have to leave? I talked to Andre. He wants to make it work.
I don't want to make anything work.
Hold on. You don't want to make anything work?
Yes, anything. I don't want to make anything work.
Let me go fix my
Motorway south.
There we go.
The lone vector stretches in your mind's eye into the wild pale yonder, for an unimaginable distance, forgetting, until you can no longer remember anything. No cities, no mountains, no oceans, and finally, no vector. Nothing remains. A blank space with no point of reference, where only one type of motion is possible. The motion of a human throat, swallowing. And then it comes to you. To reach the end of the motorway south is to be unborn. You've had this thought before, while aimlessly wandering the streets of Jamrock. A lost piece of the man you were. A dark hope.
Ooh. brought to your attention you're alcoholic, and that's a sickness. It's killing you. You're crawling on your knees through life, your booze-filled belly dragging on the ground, your brain now fuzzy, now in overdrive, your hair sticking together with today's cold sweat and yesterday's vomit. Perhaps they're right. Anything's better than this. Even a bone-dry reality itself, maybe you can quit. I'd like to. I think I need Inland Empire for something. Yeah, my suggestion person? Ah, -2 from being a pretentious wanker. I have to forget that eventually. But we're gonna take a run at this.
Yes.
What is the check?
What is it?
It's suggestion. Get some clothing on. See if I can get some suggestion going here. Okay, so pull this hat off. Anything that's fucking with my suggestion. I'd really like some pants that aren't going to ruin my life. But it's just, I mean, because these are drug pants. I don't need those. These are more drug pants. I mean, why? Electrochemistry. Electrochemistry. Yes, because I'm a druggie. Okay, let's see if I can find some suggestion. Half light was what I needed. Yes. One half light. There. There we go. More empathy. Almost got it. Hey, those. Just wear different clothes and people just react differently to you, I guess. Okay. Suggestion. I might get nothing for my suggestion here. Oh, because it's balancing out the -2 I probably got. Not wearing a shirt, though. Are there any shirts that won't... Oh, it's not quite that. Okay.
Yes, what is it?
Okay, ready?
Easy. When her research is done, she can move out.
Listen, your research is not going very well. Can I help with something?
What? No, I don't really need any help with the project.
Maybe I can help you finish the project when I have to live in a church next to the Boom Boom anymore. Just think about it.
She thinks about it. A glassy look in her eyes. A gust of wind brings more snow in from the broken gallery. It touches her hair.
All right. Bring me the game's offsite copy from my old workspace, if you really want to help. It's stored on a filament memory, and I'm unable to go and fetch it myself.
Is this the filament you're looking for?
No. That's the production schedule you stole and accessed without authorization. I don't need it.
In his defense, it was simply lying in the desk drawer of an abandoned cubicle.
Okay, but still.
The old workspace, you mean the studio of the Fortress accident, the Doom commercial area?
Yeah, that's the one. You can get in through the bookshop. You just have to do some explaining to the bookstore lady.
Wait, bookstore lady, you mean Plaisance?
That's her name, I believe.
Actually, I've already been inside the Doom commercial area.
Good. Then you might know the giant ice bear fridge in the building's cellar. The filament is inside the fridge. Just go and get it. In the giant ice bear fridge. I just told you. It has red glowing eyes. It's impossible to miss. You just need to get the offsite copy from the...
But you've been to the fridge and it wasn't there. There was a note saying...
I found a note that said, I've had copies of moved to a safer place.
Wait. A note from whom? Did it specify where they took the filament memory?
That the office has been taken to a nearby ice cream maker. No, it was scanned by someone named Sulislaw.
Jawiza. Of course. Our project lead, Sulisław Jawiza. God, he was always so hell-bent on keeping the copy somewhere safe. And feature creep, and the Valley of the Heads. Like it would have made a difference. The offsite copy was perfectly safe when the data loss happened. That data loss was anomalous.
Crosses her arms defiantly.
And the heads. I won't even get into the heads. Millions of them. Go find that copy from that ice cream maker, will you?
Valley of 1,000 Heads. You like the sound of that.
I found the ice cream maker, but it's completely frozen.
This is getting ridiculous. Can't you just defrost it? Or, I don't know. I don't know about the ice cream maker. Just figure something out.
There's a solution, but she doesn't want to hand it over to you yet. It's a thing. Something she holds dear.
What's an offsite copy and why do you need it?
It's a backup of my former employer's project, the radio game we were working on. It's stored on a filament memory, just like the one inside this radio computer.
She's making it extra simple for you.
The backup itself is destroyed now, but I'm hoping to use what's left of it to pinpoint the exact location of the anomaly. You just have to go to my old work.
Hold on. If it's called an off-site copy, then why
Already
is it
established
still
that.
on-site?
Why is it still on site?
Oh God, not this again. It is not on site. It is in the basement. Perfectly safe and not connected to the front at all.
Basement? Sounds like it's technically still on-site.
And no, taking it outside the building wouldn't have protected it from the data loss. There's nothing wrong with keeping the backup in the basement. What happened was a freak accident that has nothing to do with how the backup was stored. We clear?
Yes, we're clear.
This is clearly a painful topic for her. She must have had to explain herself numerous times.
Why can't you go get the film
The
yourself?
bookstore lady hates me. Says I'm part of the curse. Whatever that means.
Why does she think you're part of the
Because
curse?
she's from Martinez, and people from Martinez have never ever seen a radio computer. She thinks it emits elemental evil.
Don't be too harsh. It's only because of their social economic situation.
Yes, but she literally started praying for the higher powers when she first saw my Reim Civic. I'm not making this up.
The lieutenant coughs like he's amused.
Once I came in one morning, only to find that my terminal was full of those strange trinkets and amulets. Wards. It looked like some Semenine magic.
By the way, we put a dead body in that fridge.
Wait, what? Whose dead body?
You know, we don't actually have to tell the entire world about the fridge.
Lieutenant says, looking at you.
Whose body is it?
Well, don't worry, I put it in there temporarily. It's part of an official police investigation.
You put it there? You put a dead body inside the Ice Bear fridge.
I just wanted to let you know.
Okay. Very cool. Thanks for keeping me in the loop.
We would appreciate it if you kept this knowledge to yourself, miss.
Who would I tell? My mother? I don't have anyone to tell. And if I did, I wouldn't. I don't care. Thanks.
Yes, us programmers are horrible, horrible people. And with that...
And here's my Kvalsund multitool. You might need it to hack loose some ice. It opens everything. If you get me the offsite copy, then you can keep the Kvalsund.
It hurts a bit for her to say this. She's not too happy to be parting with the Kvalsund. The legendary Kvalsund multi-tool. This is Prybar version 2.0 for professionals like you.
Right, Elysium piece now. Let's go put that in our hands. No more crowbar. Time for a multi. Oh, hell yeah. Whoa, what is that? The I thought it was like a little keychain thing. It's like a keyblade. The hell? It's I am absolutely convinced that when they first put together that model, it was supposed to be small, And then they probably did like had a scaling error, and it was like, no, let's just keep it like that. That's hilarious. Here, I'm gonna put. There we go. I got a crowbar in one hand, and because Kvalsund and what the other one. I'm super excited to go open the thing, but I'll leave it for next time. Oh my goodness. I better get back to being dressed like a normal person. I'm not gonna wear a disco ass blazer. Let's put my flip up aviators back on. I could put on suggestion code there too. Oh, that's why I was wearing my encyclopedia glasses. My nerd glasses. Let's put on a rhetoric shirt? Or my dress shirt? Conceptualization. And then... which jacket? I want the disco-ass blazer. That's because I'm esprit de corps there. Oh, I was already wearing it. Cool. And glasses already set. The only thing I have is a necktie. I put the Inland Empire thing back on, but let's put my Logic hat back on. I look like a weirdo, but it's amazing. Okay. Happy 2023, everyone. Everyone, please have a good week. Please stay safe from the new COVID variant that's out there. They're not sure how deadly it is. They're thinking it's not too deadly. Hopefully, it all matches. And yeah. Everybody, please be safe. Make good decisions. And workers of the world, you rise up. The only thing you have to lose is your chains. Good night, y'all.